Hey guys, welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV after show for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're talking the episode 14, heaven and all things above. So let's start talking.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, cha-ching. Yeah. This is my favorite song.
It just really describes the life that I'm meant to live. That's how I feel.
I know. Cheers to that. Seriously. And to our lovely Grant in studio.
Hey guys.
It's a big surprise.
You know,
we have Grant.
it's nice to be able to be a little guest over here in the corner of the studio.
Grant.
Grateful to be back. I've hosted this show in the past, so it's kind of cool to, you know, come back for a little bit.
Drop in.
Yeah. So I've been loyal to the listeners. I mean, that's what it is. I'm not here for me as much as I feel like, you know, a lot of these folks who've listened to me on the show for years have followed me to my own little podcast, and like, you know, I'm very grateful. So
Absolutely.
if I can come back and give my 2 cents, other than doing it on Instagram and Twitter, I can. This is more long form. This is more for me. So I'm happy to be here.
We're so
back.
happy to have you.
Thank you.
So you guys, I'm Jennifer Leone. You could follow me on, let's say, Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV, and please follow AFTERBUZZ TV as well at AFTERBUZZ TV. And to my left, my lovely co-hosts.
Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia Nicole.
And it's your boy Richie Skye.
Where can they follow you guys? You want them to stalk? Come on.
Not at this moment. But anyways,
Okay.
yeah.
all
Wait a
right.
minute, I'm sorry, heaven's calling.
Right? That whole thing is just hilarious to me. We'll get to that in a minute. But
Yeah, we will. Hold up.
Grant has his own podcast. Why don't you just plug it a
Sure,
little
you
bit?
guys can find me at all times on my podcast, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
And it's so funny and very witty, and we love him.
It's a little bit of a commentary, you know, but not much of a departure from what we're going to be ripping into tonight, I hope.
Right. So this episode was a little slow. It was, you know, I mean, I thought it tied up a few loose ends and began a few new ones. What were your overall thoughts on this episode?
You know, to be very honest with you, I feel like much of this episode could have been left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, you know, as happy as I am to see Lois, I love seeing Lisa Rinna happy. And her mom was nice too. I just felt it was a lot. It was a lot. Like, all of that was so much.
Very long.
I was like, this would never happen on New York. You know what I mean? Like, you would never see this much of somebody's parents on New York, you know? And it wasn't really as much that. I just felt like the seance was so long. I don't know. Like, there were so many other things that I felt like we could have focused on this episode, but I wanted to see more of Erica Jane's, you know, speaking engagement. You know what I'm saying? I would have actually rather seen Pink Dog's funeral versus seeing someone all night.
Rest in peace, Pink Dog.
I'm sorry. I mean, I felt like that was emotional. You know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of more invested in that. So I don't know. A lot of
see
this
what you mean.
episode was not for me.
And can we pull up the live chat? Because I would love to know what everyone says. Everyone's so excited to see Grant.
Oh, that's nice.
Hi,
Thank you.
Grant. Yay!
It's a pleasure. Thank you, guys. Well, you know, my thoughts on this episode, look, if they're going to order this many episodes in it for a season, they've got to extend the amount of time that they're going to be in production, because if not, we have all this filler. And, you know, there's just too much good TV on right now. And the Housewives, there's so many of them.
Right.
And they're you know, you've always got now, sometimes you've got 3 on at once. We've got Potomac right behind this, and New York, which I can't wait for New York. Like, you know, that's such a great show. And I enjoy Beverly Hills, but man, if we only could condense a little bit more, we could enjoy it and have it move the way New York does, where, you know, we really just see everyone at, like, little instances. Like, Erica Jane, her moment was great, but, like, you know, what are the other women doing that can fill those little slots of what they're up to, other than these long, drawn-out dinners? I mean, these women have been eating every episode.
No, seriously, they had about 3 different brunches. And by the way, the church key is not that good. I was wondering why they were even there.
Oh, yeah.
They have a B rating on their wall.
You know, there's, again, too many good things. Why would you go? There's too many good places that are A-rated. That's what I say about B's. Forget it. They have to earn that A.
Right?
Shout out to Tarte, though, because Tarte is amazing.
Yeah.
That's where they were tonight. night. And I was like, y'all getting Arnold Palmer's at Tart? No, you get the bowl. You get the punch bowl
The
at Tart.
punch bowl,
Yes.
yeah. Aren't they open until like 6 a.m.?
Yes.
Yeah, that place. But I mean, there's a lot of apologizing, surprising apologizing by multiple different people, like Erica and Teddy was going off. And I mean, this is definitely different and not usual of the Housewives. Grant, I would love to know, since you have been with the Housewives for so long, and you're an apology probably expert.
Well, what do you want? My thoughts just on Holy Erica and Teddy, or in general? Look, I have the
Actually, no. Before can I say this?
Sure.
Before you go to them, can you go to Teddy and Dorit?
Yeah, this is what
Because
I mean.
I feel like-
it's like, what is happening?
I want to hear your opinion on that one first.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I mean, obviously I've been watching, but roll the tapes back. Hold on. So Dorit, when did Dorit cross Teddy? Was it?
It
in the New
was-
Very
York?
beginning.
Well, you know, Teddy was
'Cause
apologizing.
I love the Dorit versus Camille. Now that I can write a
That's
dissertation about.
great.
But
I was
mean-
hoping for more of that tonight, but you know, Teddy
Sorry,
was.
I'm sorry.
called.
Totally
Teddy,
remind me. This
Teddy
is my
called
fault.
Dorit to apologize to her for sharing with Lisa Rinna what Dorit has said like months prior.
Right.
What did you think of that apology? Because Dorit wasn't too happy.
Look, in
about
my opinion, this is my opinion only. It was all propped by producers who are like, "What's going on? What can we pull from? You know, we gotta kind of, you know, what did you make of this? Did you know, Teddy, were you unsure about that? Like, how did you feel like hearing all of this months prior? I mean, it to me, I can't even judge her because I feel like it was just thrown together to keep this feud
I see.
rolling to just like, you know,
Yeah.
ignite a problem.
So you felt like Teddy was pushed by producers to mention that to Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, but no, other people have said, well, Lisa Rinna Dorit brought it up at the table last week. So before everything, no, that's something different. That's another
Yeah,
argument.
there's a lot of arguments just kind of packed
goodness.
on. So basically, Teddy called and apologized to Dorit, where Dorit didn't feel that was even coming, and I feel like Dorit wasn't accepting of it, but just kind of being, you know, just dragging it out and talking about it, and it was like, well, you know, Teddy, how that made me feel, and well, you're expecting me to, you know, just. I don't know.
But why,
Go ahead.
I don't understand why she always turns it around and doesn't say, I'm sorry for what I did. And I feel like every time she hangs up the phone, she always has something to say without listening to. She always has a reply about everything.
Right.
And I wish she would listen more instead of always having a reply about.
Yeah.
I don't want her to listen anymore. I want
Like,
Dorit
just
to
let it
me
go.
is
Just
the
let
gift
it all.
that keeps on giving for this show. To me.
You know,
Just let it
Teddy, Teddy is no different to me than the Catherine Edwards.
I was going to
I
say
mean,
the
she's,
same
you know,
thing.
a one-seasoner. You know what I mean?
one-seasoner.
Like, I don't have any personal beef with her. I don't really have an opinion about her, and I think that we need to see less of her, and we need to see other people do a little bit more on this show. I'm grateful that this season is not about Kim. You know, I enjoy Kim, but at least Kim is waiting in the wings.
I really do honestly kind of miss Kim.
We all
guys.
miss Kim.
Yeah.
We all miss Kim.
I
But,
miss
you know,
good old Kim.
I'm happy for Rinna. She's got her daughters doing well. The husband is having a good career. She's doing well, but she's taking a major step back from
That's
the
what
show.
I don't like.
Yeah, but I'm glad that she's doing so well. But you know, why is Teddy on the show?
Yeah, and it's a filler.
Like, you know,
It's
people.
filler. She's a filler.
Brandy Glanville said herself she doesn't want someone accountable on her reality TV shows. I get it.
I kind of agree with that.
I get
mean,
it. No, look.
it-
Go ahead.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, it would need to be, you would have to have someone else who's very, very dramatic in order to
Yes.
have someone who's that accountable
Yeah.
on the show. And you just don't have that.
Right.
You know, we just
Right.
don't have
I was going to say the same thing. You just have to balance out the
Yeah.
cast. You can have someone accountable and someone down to earth and, you know.
the middle of the road.
No,
people.
yeah, totally.
But you need her with like a Kim.
Yeah, well, you need her with some. Yeah, with
Brandy.
a few others.
Maybe she needs to be on Orange County.
I said that from the
A
beginning.
lot of people have said
I
that.
have repeatedly said she should go to that show.
Yeah.
Ooh, everyone. Olga. Let's talk about Olga here. Dorit is going after Teddy because Teddy was the runt of the litter. She tried going after the others, and we saw how that went for her. That's why she's concentrating on ripping into Teddy. I feel that there's a lot of that going on, a lot of Dorit just being over dramatic, but you know, it is what it is. I feel that there's still going to be this talk over and over again between at least Dorit and Teddy, and just dragging it out just because of the sake of there is no Kim. You know,
right.
And you know, it is cute though to see Teddy's girls in the beginning of the show. They were putting on face masks and being, you know, that upper class that I'd like to see. As we've talked about before, I feel like there needs to be a little more of that from Teddy, and that's what she's missing. Like, we all know you're a rich kid. We all know that you grew up this way. We want to see it.
I'll tell you the problem, right, with her is the fact that she's not connected to these women. She met Dorit at that play group. Both of them have said in the press they had never met each other prior before that play group introduction at the beginning of this season. So who does she have to play off of? You know, I mean, she's got no history with any of them. She's not really an ally. She's floating around. She's admittedly like, oh, I'm going on this girls' trip to Vegas. I don't know anyone, but I'm going to make the most of it, which is not easy to do, so I give her credit for that. But, you know, I hate to see it. She's getting brought in like this by Lisa Vanderpump, and you know it's not going to go well.
I was just going to say, Lisa's brought her under her wing. There has to be a reason for it.
Numbers. Well, I used to talk about it all the time on the show. You need to have some numbers in these games of the Housewives.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough. And with Dorit, like, I remember I used to talk with Christy Olsen, who did these panels with me, and we always used to say, like, yeah, they're a pain in the ass, but the show is all about them. I mean, they're the ones that
that's why I said,
you know, they're bringing it.
the
So
gift.
it's tough. She's very easy to complain about and point the finger at. Yes, because she's the only one doing much.
Right.
I hate to say it. I wish they were all doing a lot. I really do.
Kyle has also taken a back seat, I feel like. But in this episode, she kind of... Oh, you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, to me, in previous seasons, recently, Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump both took back seats in the show. You know what I'm saying? And kind of, except for, you know, the whole Eileen and Lisa Rinna situation that Vanderpump had. But I feel like what I'm enjoying this season is kind of seeing the development of LVP's friendship with Kyle juxtaposed amongst these women. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's kind of interesting to see, because I feel like Lisa Vanderpump has finally let her guard down a lot more this season.
She really has, especially in this episode. I feel like with
like
poor
we've
Pink
seen
Dog.
her cry more this season than I have in the entire 8 seasons.
Yeah, well, I'm sad for the pink dog and her other dog.
Definitely sad for her, but
Yeah.
it's good to me to see this side of her.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
a
yeah, I
passionate
get you.
side about the thing, you know, her, whether it's her friendship or her dogs.
Sure.
It's good to see that to me.
It is good to see.
Because some people handle that differently, and I liked how Ken, you know, he opened up like he felt like he blamed himself, and sometimes when your animal does pass away, you do blame yourself, and that's good to see that maybe other people can relate to that when they watch the episode.
Oh, I feel that 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a card-carrying Lisa fan, but I do have empathy and feel for her in this episode quite a bit. I mean, especially such a violent death of that dog, so unexpected. I mean, that would knock anybody down. So,
Right.
you know, I feel for her.
Well, when Teddy was talking to Kyle at Sweet Butter, they were sitting and chatting, and when Lisa called in, it was just definitely a different type of phone call. I feel that, and they felt it on the other side, even though they were talking about something so different. And you know, I feel like Teddy was blaming a lot and kind of complaining a lot in this episode, where usually it's her very standing tall on one thing, but this one it was like, oh well, Erica did this to me, and now I feel bad, and
But
like
she never tells her to her face.
You mean Teddy never
Yeah,
says it
tells
to
like, you know,
Erica?
she always says it like after the fact. She never tells Erica, or maybe in the next episode she will, but I always feel like she always has something to say about Erica. She never tells her one-on-one, like, I don't like you, I'm not afraid of you, I'm frustrated with you, you know?
No,
like,
she's intimidated by her.
Yeah.
100%. And she sat down next to her at the little, I think it was Kyle's dinner party.
Yeah.
They have eaten a lot in this episode. It's hard to keep track.
You know, but so you asked me earlier about what I think about Erica and the other one,
Yes,
Teddy.
Teddy.
You know, it's an unpopular opinion. I even did a little poll on my Instagram, and everyone seems to have sympathized with Teddy. But I can understand the trigger for Erica, and I'm taking Erica's side in that back and forth. I know it's not the popular opinion. Who cares? Yeah, I don't care. But
that was interesting
it's
on
a
social
switch.
media. I mean, people were really going at Erica for her response last
Look,
week.
people like myself have a switch, and the switch for her was she's like, don't play like you don't make it up like you're having amnesia. Don't say you don't remember. And you know, she basically called her a liar. She insinuated she was a liar. She's not going to be called a liar on reality TV.
And this led me to my epiphany.
Oh,
Okay.
let's hear it.
Erica would do well on Atlanta. And even tonight she kind of mentioned she was from Atlanta, and I was like, that attitude, I see it. Because she's pretty feisty.
She'd shut anything down. Like
Shut
a
it
word
down.
about like, oh, I
Shut
heard
it down.
Erica, there's so many rumors about your husband getting a divorce, and she'd be like, stop that. That is not true.
Yeah.
Stop
Or
that.
her-
Listen to me.
She knows that it'll grow and just spiderweb into just a spiderweb of bullshit that she doesn't want to be a part of. I can see it. You know,
Well,
maybe that demon coming out is a little,
Like Teddy said.
much.
She's
but
got
I mean,
another side to her, but look, people have a switch, and that's what it
Yeah.
is. I mean, you can't put labels on people on reality TV. She's not going to take it.
See, because but what I liked about this episode is that she was talking about empowerment, and you know, empowerment is not words. Like, you have to show action, and I think that her apologizing to Teddy, or you know, that took a whole lot of woman in her, and I respected her after I saw her say that. And like, I wish Dorit would say sorry once in a while, but so I just really liked that empowerment whole thing. And
she is all about that, and that girl cult thing. I do wish that there was more of that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Her
Yes.
apology, Erica's apology, caught me off guard because previously last week she
I'm
said,
not apologizing.
"Yeah, she's like, I don't apologize for shit."
I was so surprised.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, at least like she's like, nope. Like at least she's like Lisa Vanderpump, like, you're never gonna get an apology out of me, ever, 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 never, ever. But she did. She went for it, and you know, I mean, whatever was the bigger thing to do. To her, like you said, her own words. She's like, you know, sometimes you just have to know, like, you know, to give certain things the power and know when to like be right about things.
because
So-
if you hold it in, you're just poisoning yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. And you know, I know because I have haters, but I know like you can't empower women like that. That's not how you do it with words. You are action. That's what empowerment, at least to me, means. I'm not sure about you guys, but I really think empowerment. This episode really helped me to say like, enough. Like, I am going to step up, and I know that through action, that's how you empower women. So that's all I have to say
I
about
get
that.
it. I
You
get
know,
it.
I always say, even with my on my podcast, it's just like it's all about like supporting one another. You know, it's one thing to do a reality show. I know they're paid. Like I always used to say, my grandmother says they're paid to be bitches. But I mean, like it's just.
By the way,
like,
Grant's grandma is amazing. She's on his podcast,
should
and
be
I
on
love
here.
her.
once in a while,
I love her.
Every once in a while, I might have her on soon because I'm supposed to go to New York to see her actually, and it's a huge. It's the evening before a huge snowstorm, so we'll stay tuned. But I don't know.
Yeah,
But I'm
right.
just so stressed out. So this is a nice like chill moment for me to be able to talk about the show. So I appreciate the platform. I don't know. But yeah, what else was I gonna say?
Well, we're talking
Page
about
me
Erica.
bitches, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
of
but
course.
it's all about you have to support other people if you want to get anything out of life, and it's amazing how many people hold on to things and they know that they know that you want it, or they know you want to be featured on something, and they won't do it. And that's the opposite of empowering.
It really
Pisses
is.
me off.
Yeah.
But it's okay because you always know who those people are, and
Oh.
it bites them in the ass later. I'm just
Jen,
saying.
Karma.
I never forget. I literally, I mean, no, I was thinking about this the other night. There's the shit list, and then there's the list that you can get off of,
Yeah,
but you got to do a little work. You know what I mean?
The
Not
shit list and
gotta
the-
keep an eye on certain
That's
people.
very LVP of you.
Oh, yeah. Get along.
All right, I'll
She
take it.
is
I'll take it.
LVP.
No, I mean the shit list is a select few, but there are some people you just have to just keep an eye on. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's
Like,
true. You know.
I mean,
then
I'm not gonna be walked all over by anybody.
If
You know
not,
what I mean?
then you're
Yes.
naive. You know, you
Exactly,
have to be
yeah.
aware. And I love how Erica just wrapped it up with "Bye, giving all your husbands blowjobs." Just walks right after that apology.
Dorit has said that there will be problems.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think Erica can get away with a lot more than Dorit can.
Speaking of Dorit, let's talk about the husband.
Can we talk about PK? We need a special
Let's talk
type
about
of
the husband.
song for PK.
That used to be my transition when I did this show. Every time we always have to talk about PK for a minute. Let's talk about that husband. Oh,
And that's a PK song.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming on.
PK. With his diamond. Fake diamond.
And I love Dorit walking around her house at the beginning of this episode with a Gucci fanny pack casual.
As one does.
Yeah, let's talk about the little highlights that we thought about the show. And that would be one, would be the Gucci
Fanny pack.
The Gucci fanny pack walking around the house. Hey, if you need something off, just...
Those are so convenient at like concerts, at theme parks. I'm sorry, I have a pink furry one and I'm loving it right now.
Yeah.
Someone just says, let's talk about the husband. Rinna throws a wine glass. I love it. That needs to be the sound.
Yes.
Shattered.
No, PK. Oh, I just can't with that PK.
Let's hear it, Grant. Time for the bitch talk.
He looked nice at his little birthday boat party. It was nice. I can't believe they paid it off. I need to know.
Did you say paid it off?
No, well, I mean that too. No, but look, how do they make money? I want to know. She's got this Beverly
He's
Beach.
Boy George's manager.
Oh, and so am I. Please. I mean,
don't you think that there's a lot of wealth behind that?
No, I don't. No, if you're a manager, you manage multiple artists and talent.
I think
you know
he
what
has
I mean?
a lot of. I
That's
think
how
he
you build
probably
a
has some
business.
other business ventures that they just don't mention on the show because, I think when you do reality, they'll probably focus on the one that's probably sounds the most splashy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know he's an entrepreneur, and she said this, but I just don't know. And that house, they're fooling nobody. That house, apparently, what they've been renting, the people who own that house renovated the backyard and put in all that beautiful teak wood. It looks great, but they're going over there saying. Dorit says at the beginning, oh, well, we redid our kitchen and we redid our backyard. The owner did it for resale. I mean, what I mean? Enjoy it, but I mean, don't tell me that you really went out picking color swatches because they sold the house right after they wrapped production. They're not living there, apparently.
Really? Allegedly. Interesting.
Oh
we'll
my
have
God.
to do...
Can you come back next week with just a little bit of news and gossip? I want to know who else doesn't live in that house.
Yeah. We need
I'll
to
call
know.
in.
No, you just,
I don't know.
pulled
I don't know
back
if
the
I can,
curtain
but-
from me on Dorit's whole life.
No, I knew she was filled with bullshit, just trying to figure out where, and it's the money. The money.
You think?
Oh, yeah. It's
Well,
the
that's what
money.
I'm saying. I'm all for her with the
Where's
swim
that car?
line. I'm all empowerment. I'm here for the swim
Yes.
line. Good for her.
Good.
But when you launch a business, and I'm so happy that she's having them made in LA, in America. It's great, but there's lots of costs associated with all of that. So I don't know. Maybe it's infused by the money she makes from Housewives. Money makes money. That's what I would do if I had one of these shows. I wouldn't go out and buy a house. I would use the money that however I made from that season to invest in something.
Right. That's a millionaire
I would
talk.
partner with QVC first.
Okay. You have a duster.
Sell some dusters, please. You get a duster, you get a duster, you get a duster.
Cute. It's so cute.
That's what I would do.
Hey, money makes money, man.
Someone says, yeah, that threw me off. It looked like Dorit was taking care of the kids herself, but no way a kid that young is alone in the bathtub. So remember in the beginning, she said that she had all these nannies. Where are they? Where are the nannies? Where's that car?
Well, she's clearly had to downplay for the. I don't know anything with a kid in the tub. I forgot. Actually, I didn't even really see that. I was looking at my phone for something.
Jagger.
So so I don't have any opinion about that. But I think that she's dismissed some of them from being on camera. Optics.
Maybe she's trying to portray the entrepreneur, the housewife, the mother, the great wife.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The bitch, the pot stir, all of it. Yeah. No, I love it. I'm here for it. I love it.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's how she wants, and I don't know. I don't live in their house. Well, they don't either. But because they're in a new one. They're in a new one. They're in a new one.
Are you
Allegedly.
sure? Allegedly.
Oh God, I think heaven's calling.
But I don't know them personally, so I don't know anything about her parenting and how involved she is. But it's a little bit extra. I think anyone would say it's been extra this season.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I've been saying that. It's a little much. Just like the psychic, which
I was
come
waiting
on.
for somebody to mention the
Let's
psychic.
this is my wrapping up with the psychic because I'm like, let's talk about it. Go on, Richie.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just baffled by the fact that she was there. And this is her second appearance on the show.
Yeah.
That's her second time. You've given this woman more camera time than you've given Alison Dubois, who clearly deserves
Who's the
way
star?
more camera time on this show.
Well, she won't do it. She won't do any reality TV. This charges her for all of it. I know. But you know what? If the price is right, you know, time heals wounds. It's been like 10 years. Go do another seance or something. You know what I mean?
They need a slightly more feisty friend of the show.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have Camille back.
exactly it.
I'm happy to have Camille back because she does a little, but I need a little bit more.
I'll be on as the psychic.
I need something else.
I feel like I feel like if you're a psychic, you could look at that person and say, you know what, this is what you're gonna do in 5 years. This is what you're gonna do in 1 year. Not I saw you on Twitter and I know exactly what happened to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
That was tough.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, there's
I
a
mean-
difference between psychic and clairvoyance.
Intuitive.
Well, I mean, psychic and intuitive is basically the same thing. It's like the clairvoyant and the what is it? The
healer.
no, medium. It's a medium. Mediums talk to dead people. So this person was just like, oh yeah, he sits by the window. You know, she was saying very vague things.
Jen, all this conversations about mediums is flashing me back to our last season covering Beverly Hills together.
Oh my gosh. Nobody look back at that. or do.
That's all I'm saying. It reminds me of last season.
Would you like to expand on that, Grant?
No.
No. Just,
The receipts live online.
They do. They do. If you'd like to go back to last season and learn all about our psychic
We
and
talked a
medium
lot
talk.
about it. We did.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it. How did the Housewives not notice the psychic? I have it cut off a little bit for the
info?
Fishing for info. Yeah, she was fishing. She was fishing a little bit. But, I mean, I feel like they should have someone who's good. Like, let's get John Edwards. You know, where's
do
Tyler
love him,
Henry,
yeah.
the Hollywood medium?
There's
Where's
a
he at?
crossover for you, yeah.
That's a
There's
great
cable
crossover.
crossover, yeah. I don't know. I felt for Kyle though because she always mentions her mom and she speaks so highly of her mother and you know even I guess her father has passed too as she mentioned. So it must be tough that you have to rely on this person to have any type of connection with your mother, you know. And I feel for her.
It's wrong though for someone to say that heaven has their number and that they call and that Kathy wants to speak to Kyle. You know, I just think that's wrong. That's messing with people. Like you should do things and if they're real and natural, but come on.
Right. Like, I just feel like maybe that scene would have been better off with just Kyle and her. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it would have been more impactful, and because right now the show made her look like a clown.
Yeah, well, the Teddy thing actually kind of was cute, where she didn't even think about her 6th grade friend, and you know she brought her up. But I mean, I'm sure that's Googleable. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't even remember 6th grade. I was having a hard time.
Yeah,
with that one. I don't remember much about 6th grade. It's so specific.
It's very specific.
Like,
psychics and mediums do a lot of things for people that really help them through loss and through connection. And it's too bad that the edit she got or her actions, it delegitimizes for a lot of people. It goes to skeptics. See, she's on Twitter. That's what people do, and then they cut them all out and they just put them all in a box as fakes. And it's unfortunate because they really have done good things to connect with people on the other side.
Absolutely. Like Tyler Henry, I'll say, is really amazing and can definitely... I was back and forth on him, but then I was proven absolutely...
Really?
Yeah, because I had to talk
I don't know how to feel about him.
Well, I had to talk with Corey Feldman, and he was just like, I don't think so. I don't think he's legit. And then I talked to a few other people, and my friend actually met him, who is clairvoyant. She is. And she said that he's just a light and just like totally a vessel. And if this woman's just like, oh yeah, you know, heaven calls me on the phone, it's like, I don't know how to compare it to apples and oranges for me. What do you guys think?
Well, the thing about
Olga says Teddy provided all the information. All the psychic really said was that a female who passed away wanted to talk to her. Teddy took it from there. Very good point.
Very, very true.
Olga, you're always MVP.
Wow,
Thank you for that.
Literally.
Good point.
Yeah. Erica lived at the bottom of the boat. We got all these stories, past lives. Do you guys believe that you guys have past lives? Do you?
I believe that spirit lives on in people.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told like certain things
What have you been
about
told?
myself. I don't even want to.
I know. It's sensitive.
You know, 'cause
I have
don't-
certain ideas too, but I don't know.
Well, she told me I was in Hawaii, and I didn't want to. She was talking to my friends, and my friends left her crying, like both of them. It was a male and a female. They both left crying, and so I was like, "Stay away from me." And so, you know, she came over and she actually told me like a lot of things about my life, my past life, and the things that she said about my real life were absolutely true.
Really?
So
let's get her number.
You know, I felt like she came from the water, like literally, like she just came like. I guess she came down from one part of the ocean or whatever, and she just kind of materialized. And I was like, where did she come from?
Mystical.
I just feel like you have to follow your gut, your
Yep.
intuition. And I know in my past life, I was in Cancun drinking a cocoa, but that's all I know.
Yeah, and this present life and all
I want that
that.
to be my present life.
I always felt like I had a connection to like World War II and the Jewish internment camps. I'm not Jewish, but I always just felt, even in school studying that and reading those books, just like a deeply personal connection to that world.
Yeah.
I could see that.
don't know why, but it was always was very strong. And I would have like visions of like what it was really like. And I don't know if it was just my imagination. I don't know. Who knows? You know,
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know what you bring over. They say, especially when you're really young, there's that connection to the other side that's a little bit more fluid than as you get older. So I don't know. I hope that's not offensive. I don't
think it's offensive. I just think that
Well, I don't have any proof of
compared
it.
to these experiences that we're talking about, what we saw on television was completely different.
Yeah.
Like I felt like whoever it was made a mockery of her, whether it was herself or editing. I don't know.
Yeah, that Twitter thing too.
It was
That
the-
Twitter
you know-
was
Yeah,
really
you know what?
something.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's cutting room floor footage. You know, that didn't really evolve the plot at all. Didn't push anything forward.
Very flat.
You know,
Yeah.
the last scene was good. I mean, you know.
Bye, bitches, giving all your husbands blowjobs. Yeah.
Well, you know, a couple of things happened, I think, that were worth showing. I think that was LVP's moment with Erica, and that was Erica and Teddy's moment. You know what I'm saying? Because what I like about LVP, and I'm starting to kind of see this, is that she's not I'm going to confront you in front of a group type person. She's definitely a one-on-one, which I can respect. As an adult,
I
can
think she's
respect
awfully passive aggressive. That's my problem with her.
That's
I
the
think
70-year-old in her.
I think
You
she's
know,
horribly passive aggressive, which I think is worse. You're gonna come at me straight.
I liked what she did tonight because she really went to her head on and said, "Listen, this is my interpretation of." I felt like I didn't feel anything from you, like I felt from the rest of the ladies. You know, I felt like Erica's interpretation was slightly different from what she may have said, but I get both of their perspectives. I'm just glad she said it to her.
This is the first time. I was really shocked that LVP actually said, "Hey, you didn't text me."
Right.
You know, and that would have probably came out into a fight later.
Yeah.
But for some reason, she felt like, hey, this bothered me.
Yeah, that's something like that. That would have been like a reunion thing. Like, you
totally.
never text me just after 48 hours after this. Like, yeah.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
It would have been a scene.
Good for her for just calling it. Like, yeah, I mean, at least she was direct there. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just find her incredibly passive aggressive, and I don't do passive aggressive, so I couldn't.
She
I
is.
don't enjoy that woman. I don't enjoy her. I had
I
a whole
love
rant about
Diamonds and
her
Roses.
on the most recent episode of my podcast.
I feel that each of the women have their ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And this week, and actually, this week has been a little flat for me, but next week, it seems like it's going to be building up a little more. So let's get into predictions.
Yes.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right.
A great trip will hopefully re-energize these ladies.
Yeah, hopefully. So you guys, what do you think? Berlin, lots of things were talked about. I think personally that there's going to be new fights that are brewing and coming out, and you know, let's see how that goes. I feel like I'm not going to be here. I'll be in New York next week, but I'll be in the next, and Thomas will be back. What do you guys think? Next week, is it going to be flat still?
I hope not. I really hope that Lisa Rinna comes back into the picture in full swing in some capacity, because I feel like, you know, her taking such a backseat this season kind of feels like an exit. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Okay.
It feels to me like an exit. Like if I were a producer, it would seem like I was writing her off because she has a nice little happy ending. She's getting along with everybody. She has no more drama. It seems like that's the route that it's going. I don't want it to be that way because I love her, but I'm just saying that, you know, you got to bring some some of that Lisa Rinna. Like,
We
open
need
your
it.
mouth, girl. Talk.
Where's the
Just
bag of
talk.
pills? Where's the
Right.
bag of pills?
Yeah, it's a loss that you don't have anyone that's okay. Like the way she was earlier in the season, she's like, "You bet, you know, I'm gonna talk about it." I'm like, "That's what we need."
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I know. And unfortunately, you know, when these housewives turn stale and they hang around too long, then they're just kind of there to be there. And that's how I view Lisa Vanderpump. She's got way too many contract things going on. She holds the show hostage, and it's not fun to have her on because it completely throws the balance off the show. They give her too much power on that show, and that's unfortunately what might happen with Rinna, because they're going to keep her around for posterity. And why?
I think
Yeah.
they do that with a lot of these shows. Like, I mean, obviously every show has that one mainstay. Like, you know, with New York, it's Bethan right now. With Atlanta, it's Nene. With OC, it's probably Vicky.
Okay.
You know what I mean? New Jersey, it's definitely Teresa. So it's like they're not gonna get rid of their
She's the original.
their centerpiece. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Going into the next weeks, though, do you think that they don't care that it's flat and just let her do what she wants, or is she gonna have a little up to her storyline?
Well, you know, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because you don't want fake stories and you don't want producer
You
prodding.
just want people to react.
Yeah.
And these women right now, they seem really careful to me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I'm
Very
saying?
good.
Very
Yeah.
cautious, and that's not good to
You know why? Because they're using this as an opportunity for their business platforms.
Sure.
The Dorit Beverly Beach, which I've lived in LA 10 years. I don't know where Beverly Beach is.
It's
Let me know.
non-existent, and Beverly. There is a Beverly swimwear, which I think is a little.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
yeah.
didn't know that. So there's Beverly Beach, then Erica's got the touring in the book, Lisa Vanderpump's got the restaurants and the spin-off show, Kyle's got the stores and the TV shows. So they've all got businesses that they have to maintain an image for to stay on the show. Like Lisa Rinna, her whole children's future is built on her appearance on the show, which is great. I'm happy for her. But you know, they all have to like keep up these appearances.
Personas.
It's more of a business transaction to be on the show than it is a platform to have, you know, some shade and make a name for yourself. And that's why we're really only seeing Dorit, I think, do that. Because even someone like Teddy, she owns that accountability business. But Teddy's a great friend of, I think. I just don't know why she's on there full time.
Well, let's see what happens next week's. Do you have anything to say?
I just want to see the ladies in Berlin.
Yeah, the ladies in Berlin. Okay.
Yes,
so,
take a tour.
Grant, I love having you.
Oh, I wish I could read all the comments.
I wish
I'm angled where I can't really see the
Right.
screen, but thank you all for embracing me and the love and all of that. I really appreciate
We
it.
love Grant. Grant, tell them where they can find you.
Yes, you guys can find me at my podcast, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. It's on YouTube, some older episodes. I keep it updated. And then, of course, on all major podcasting platforms, all you have to do is search Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. Thank you. Love you for listening.
Love you. I'm Jennifer Leone, and you can find me on Twitter at Jennifer Leone TV, and all the links and stuff are there. And please follow AfterBuzz TV as well, at AfterBuzz TV, and give us a 5-star rating, thumbs up, all the way around. Give us good comments. And to my left, my lovely co-host.
I'm Cynthia Nicole. You can find me on all social media under Cynthia Nicole 5.
And it's DJ Richie Skye, and you can find me at DJ Richie Skye on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Thomas will be back next week, and then hopefully full panel the week after. Thanks for being with us, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.